What's up, guys and gals, and welcome back to the Nerd Castle. Today in the world of indie games, we're going to be taking another look at Iron Oath. The game is actually coming out. This is a game that we covered, I think, between 2 and 4 months ago. The time just kind of blends together, and honestly, I forget where I'm at most days. If you're a fan of games like Battle Brothers, or you're a fan of games where you are running a mercenary company with RPG aspects and resource management and all that kind of stuff in a world that's rapidly going sour, this might be the game for you. So because we played this so recently, I kind of spent a little bit of time thinking to myself, like, what can I do here? Because normally I like to space out videos on the same game by about 6 months. And so I thought to myself what I'd do, because I really wanted to cover this game when it came out, and the demo was a while ago, but not long enough ago. What I did is I played us up to past the first dungeon so that at least you're seeing new content here. Like, you're seeing new things. And so as of right now, I am in control of a mercenary company with 4 guys inside of it, and we've just been given a job to go and hunt demons at a void breach. And so anyways, let's dive on in. Let's take a look at the Iron Oath. Let's see if it's the right game for you. If after watching this you wanted to get the game for yourself, I'll have a link for you down below like I always do. And then you'll also be able to find a link to my Twitch and my Discord, where I will more than likely be streaming this game live on the day that this video goes up for your perusal, just in case you feel like 30 minutes isn't enough. I'll have a big old beefy, like 4-hour, I almost said 40, that's a little bit too long. You'll have a big beefy 4-hour stream to kind of get deeper on into the game and see if it's the kind of thing that you're into. So the game, stuff you need to know. We've got our money up here in the top left-hand corner. We do have to pay our troops. We have our renown and our renown points. Your renown, every time you do a job, you get renown, and at certain thresholds, you get renown points. Those renown points can be used in order to upgrade your camp. Let's see here. Where's that at? There's a menu around here. There it is, the company upgrades. You can spend your points to basically upgrade your little caravan full of mercenaries. Everything from active abilities that you can use inside of dungeons, to general purpose decreases in the amount of supplies you need, to increasing the amount of stuff you can take down into dungeons with you for supplementary purposes. It's all on in here for you to look at. For right now, I think I will probably go for, we've got faster movement speed on the world map. I think I'll probably actually go for satchel size 1 and 2. That way I can carry a lot more potions and stuff when I go into dungeons, just to patch myself up in case we get a little scuffy boy. Yes, apply the upgrades. Over here we have the amount of people that we have in our group that are ready for active duty, meaning they can be sent off on missions, and then we're actually missing 4 people, so we should probably hire like 1 or 2 more in order to make ourselves a little bit stronger. These are the services that are offered inside the city. As you can see, the game uses very, very beautiful pixel art. Like, this is a fantastic looking game. Some of the death animations and some of the attack animations are like something straight out of like a really, really high budget anime and whatnot. Like, it's really good looking, and if you don't believe me, you can go watch the previous video too, even though that one ended in heartbreak. We've got the infirmaries so we can heal people up. There are injuries you take in this game, so just like in Battle Brothers, you can get like a cut artery, or you can get like a slashed eye or something like that. This game has that same mechanic, and you can treat those injuries inside the infirmary. In the marketplace, we can buy new gear, and we can buy fun new stuff for our characters to make them stronger. And then, of course, we can go to the inn in order to patch our guys up, to rest, and to hire new people and raise morale. As of right now, everybody's pretty tired and everybody's pretty beat up. This game is high fantasy. What I mean by that is this is not like Conan the Barbarian, where magic is reasonably rare. This is not like Warhammer Fantasy, where magic doesn't happen every single day and is like a cause for concern. This game is high fantasy, which has much more in common with Dungeons & Dragons, where magic is pretty commonplace. And so a lot of the classes are sort of like melee magic hybrids. So we've got a Pyrolancer. That's exactly what it sounds like. It's a guy that's basically a pyromancer, but also uses a lance. We've got a Guardian. It's basically a Paladin. We've got a Pugilist. If you've ever seen the Monk from Diablo 2, exact same idea. Basically a magic-assisted punch guy. And then we've got our Stormcaller over here, which is a fairly basic Electro-Mage. So I think what I want to do for right now is we need to rest for like 5 days in order to get people patched up. Oh, we can only do 2 days at a time. Okay, well, we'll rest for 2 days then, and we'll see how everybody feels. I'd like everybody to be up and sort of rested by the time we get out of here. We made a little bit of money off the newbie contract that I did. Everybody is fully available right now, which is nice. If we rested a little while longer, they'll get a thing called well rested, which basically means they haven't seen combat for like 2 months. It means they've fully kind of detoxified their mind of all the PTSD and everything else, and can go into combat with bonuses. Let's go to the inn. I'd like to pick up a new guy. So inside the inn, we've got a couple pugilists. Actually, we've got a big old fistful of pugilists, and we've got a guardian. I sort of take it back. I sort of don't want any of these guys. I already have a pugilist and a guardian. I was hoping we'd pick up a Valkyrie or an archer. Alas, we did not pick up we didn't pick up a Valkyrie or an archer. Okay, fair enough. Let's do a little bit of customization then. What kind of gear does everybody have on them? These characters do have, like, biographies and things. It does keep track of their stats. They do have traits for better or for worse that kind of, like, diversify them out and make them more interesting. It looks like everybody's just got, like, basic swords and things going on right now. So let's maybe go to the market and see if we can make our stuff a little bit better. We've got a Rotella shield over here, and it's got a star. So maybe it might be a little bit better. That short sword has 58 damage, so that's pretty good, especially since I think my Guardian has really bad damage. So, like, maybe we'll pick up one of those bad boys. I do wish, so is there a way for me to, like, look and see what equipment my characters have on them? I would like to have all of my characters' equipment available somewhere here so that I can make comparisons and whatnot. It's useful information to have, and it saves you menu clicks. When it comes to, like, game design and whatnot, I'm usually a big fan of games that sort of minimize clicking, and they avoid clicks wherever they possibly can to get you everything you want. And it's possible that I'm just missing it for right now. You can also customize the characters if you don't like their appearance. You can change their appearance around so if they look more like you or less like you or whatever you want to do if you identify with a particular character. Does she actually have a shield? She does not have a shield. So I sort of feel like we should pick her up a shield too. Let's get her one of these Rotellas right here. That looks good, and that's going to be a decent grip of our money. I don't know how expensive it's going to get while we're on the road. I also don't know what armor she's wearing, unfortunately. It looks like she's wearing just some boiled leather for the 7 defense. We'll give her the offhand, and then, I don't know, maybe I should focus on somebody else for right now. We do have a Traveler's Stave, which is pretty cool, and we've got a Leather Kestis over here. I'll take the Kestis. Let's boost up our damage a little bit on our monk, too. There we go. Throw the Kestis on him. All right, perfect. He's got no defense on his armor, which is a little bit terrifying, but, like, maybe I can swap out. Can he wear the boiled armor? He cannot wear the boiled armor. Okay, so he can only wear cloth. Does anybody else want to wear that armor? So he's got leather lamellar. Okay, that's just waxed leather that's kind of overlaid in kind of a snake-like formation. He's got a decorative wand. Is the stave that they have in here better than what he has? It's a common staff. I'll leave it alone for the moment then. I don't know who I would want to put. Actually, the hide coat right there. We could throw that on, I think, our brawler. Yeah, there we go. And that also provides a little tiny teensy bit of defense. Okay, so let's go hunt these demons, shall we? Out to the world map we go. In hunting some demons, where are they hiding at? So we've got a void breach over there. Okay. We've got the interest of protecting their citizens. The local rulers increase the amount of patrol guards, making the city roads safer. This is the world map. It's got all of the various villages and towns. As you can see, they have like modifiers and stuff too that'll affect the overall economy. I don't know how much like trading and just moving in between points, like moving objects around, is going to be profitable, but I hope they add that. I love peaceably trading. Peaceably trading is one of my favorite things to do in games. Let's just go for the void breach for right now. It'll take us 15 days to get there. All right, let's take the clippity-cloppities and let's boppity on over to this dungeon so that we can give the enemies the old slashies. All right, so we've got to pick who's going to go into the dungeon. We've only got 4 guys, so we might as well take the 4 that we have. We have lots of provision slots. I'm going to take 3 healing potions. I'm going to take 1 batch of tools, and this section right here is basically like Darkest Dungeon. You can pick up more of this stuff while you're inside of the dungeon, but it's not guaranteed, so you're kind of just bringing things in order to, like, kind of mitigate difficulty, basically. I'll bring a couple bandages just in case we've got to get ourselves, like, injury stabilized, like a sprained ankle or something, and then we'll just kind of venture forth. I do want to take some upgrades to bring down the cost of this stuff. Now, the dungeons in this game. The dungeons in this game are mechanically more or less identical to Warhammer 40k Mechanicus, if you've ever played that game. And that's a good thing. I actually kind of like the way the dungeons work in this game. So basically, every single time you move in between one of these tiles, something might happen. On top of that, your TUs will go up over here. Now, if you stay in the dungeon for too long, every time this goes around, every 20 moves, we get a debuff. Or we might just get lucky and get nothing. But basically, the dungeon gets harder every 20 steps. So that's something to keep in mind while you're running around. You can also scout tiles. It will cost you in order to do that if you wanted to figure out where you wanted to go. We know that this is a dead end right here because they gave us that little bit of information. So let's maybe go off in this direction and just kind of see what happens here. Oh, we've got a fight. Good. I get to show you guys some combat. So here's our party. I have found that things tend to go better in this game if you deploy in a ring around your caster. Playing a very, very seasoned game of ring around the caster is going to be the only way to protect him. The AI seems to really, really enjoy going after your casters, and they will do it at like all costs. And so basically I start every single fight by deploying back so that I have a couple turns to wait for them to break their formation. And then on top of that, it also allows me to encircle my wizard and make sure that he doesn't just get absolutely ganged on right at the beginning of the fight. We're going to hang out right here for a second, and we're just going to defend on our turn. I'm going to treat this just like Battle Brothers, and I'm going to take it nice and smooth here at the beginning. Okay, so she's made up and she's made base contact. This game does have attacks of... Oh, that's really bad on the first turn. That's like super-duper bad on the first turn. So these guys got CC'd for their first turn, and they're going to lose their next turn too. It's pretty bad. Of all the things that are terrible, that is pretty terrible. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to kick this guy into a hole. This game has environmental effects. So if you like kick him into a fire, or you kick him into a hole, or you kick him into a wall, stuff happens. And so there you go. I'm going to kick her into the hole. That's going to stun her back. She's going to take a bunch of extra damage, and it's going to get her off of our back for a minute. I would also like for you fall back over here behind the pugilist until we can reform our ranks, and then strike her with lightning, and down she goes. Looks like the brawl is going to kick off over here. I'm going to go ahead and pull up on this side. He's got a number of abilities we can use, everything from fiery landmines to pillars of flame to blazing slashes. I'm going to get him with a blazing slash for the one tap that he's right. Oh, he didn't get one tapped. That hurts my feewies. Apparently, I should have spent more time on arm day. I'm going to lock down the cat over here, just so the cat can't get to the wizard. With my paladin, I'm just going to auto attack on this critter. He's got a lot of HP, but when he gets to half HP, he kills himself in order to do an AoE. And so basically just assign one guy to him and then just kind of like mind your business till he blows up. That guy burned to death. We're going to go for a flank over here. This game does have flanking mechanics. So if you are directly opposite on the hex grid from your teammate that is encircling an enemy, I think it negates a big chunk of their defense, and then on top of that, it also gives you a 100% chance to hit, because this game does use dice rolls to determine whether or not you hit. I know that's going to be a deal breaker for some people. I know there's a lot of people out there that think that like all strategy leaves the room the second your attacks are up to a dice roll, but it does add a little bit of flavor and interesting things to the game because you can't really rely on anything to happen the way that you want it to happen. It also makes it so that you really want to pay attention positionally and make sure that you're properly surrounding enemies every chance you can possibly get. We might actually get to kill this guy before he blows up. Yeah, for sure. Let's kill him. I'm going to go in and close the gap for the extra XP. Big critical hit right there. It does that little zoom in cinematic, and sometimes there's a fatality too. We got a key. Everybody got XP. We got some demon's blood, which is just a vendor item. We've got a null beast tooth, another vendor item, and we've got some ale right there that we can drink to get our morale back up. The morale is the white bar that's underneath right here. I have never had my morale fall off just yet, so I don't know exactly what long-term effect that has. But, you know, you come to a narrow corridor with an iron gate barring your way. Despite the rust and apparent wear, you were unable to force it open. There must be a key around here. I do indeed have a key. So down goes the gate. We will transpire into here. The floor shifts as if someone has stepped on something they shouldn't have before collapsing under your feet. You fall and take damage. Weak. All right. I actually don't think that much more damage was added to anybody. I think we're all right. We got another fight in front of us. Okay, let's take the throwdown and get ready for the hoedown showdown. I don't know. I think we get to act first, so I'm just going to lock them down here. And then I'm going to lock them right here. so that in order to get past me, like, this is acting as a choke anyways. So without taking an attack of opportunity, they're not going to be able to close. Let's go ahead and put him down here, and we're going to use his channeled conduit lightning ability to one-shot that guy. He's going to charge for 5 turns, and after 5 turns, he's going to strike that spot right there, and he's going to nuke this guy into giblets. Yeah, a lot of damage going out right now. Not crazy pleased with the amount of damage that's happening, but I'll try to extricate myself from the fight over here and get my paladin down so that she can heal everybody. Let's see if... Yeah, just keep on kicking over here. You got the fatality. You love to see it. There goes the zap right there. The enemy's down. They did reduce the difficulty, so I talked about this briefly when we were playing this game in its demo. The difficulty curve was very, very high in this game the last time I played it. Like, it was a hard game. As I understand it, in the recent patch notes before early access, they basically said that they nerfed the first couple dungeons to allow the player a chance to get their footing, especially if you skip the prologue. If you skip the prologue, you miss out on a bunch of XP from what I remember, and so you basically go into the first mission a little bit underpowered, which makes the situation even worse. And so anyways, I would like to heal my paladin before we exit here. Oh no, dude. She's on a... That's a void spot right there. You can't cast magic while you're standing on a void spot. We'll go ahead and heal her up. Very nice. We're looking pretty good. He's going to keep on attacking, and it looks like he didn't go for the wizard, which I expected him to go for the wizard, but like, oh well. Now we just got to patch up. Oh, we got a free healing potion. Nice. So that'll patch up our monk over here too. If you want to use items, you just go to your backpack down here, and then you just click and drag it onto the guy you want to use it on. And that's it. When you get low on abilities, because your abilities do have limited charges, you camp. They recently nerfed all the penalties for camping. In fact, camping is basically a free action at this point, which I think is a really, really good change. Camping was time-consuming and difficult the last time that I played the game, because there was a chance you get interrupted and wouldn't, like, get your full bonuses or whatever. What is that? A foul stench perverts the air around you, growing more potent with seemingly every step forward. Gosbear glances your way with a disgusted look twisted on his face, trying not to gag. What the hell is that, demons? I've never known demons to make an odor like that. You shake your head unknowingly, continuing onwards until you find a large chamber. You stop in your tracks and raise your arms to cover your faces from the source of the smell. In front of you, body parts lay strewn on the cavern floor. Severed arms, legs, and heads which belong to men. It's hard to imagine so now. This must be the Vanguard party. Poor souls. Gosbear approaches the body least desecrated, but jolts back in shock when the corpse begins coughing, spewing blood. He's still alive. They scan the man with disbelief, who remains little more than a head attached to a torso. He tries to speak, choking on his own blood between breaths. They overwhelmed us. Leave me. Close the breach. We should end his torment. Even the greatest healer could not save him now. Yeah, let's end his suffering. So all the warriors are in support of it, and the one caster, an intellectual, doesn't like it. With an affirming nod, you pull a knife from your boot and plunge the blade into his heart. He grunts. His eyes roll back as he exhales one drawn breath. You let a moment pass and then signal that you need to move out. The game does have kind of a dark undertone. I wouldn't say that it's quite grimdark, but it's definitely darker than most fantasy, in that the world is rapidly being overtaken by spectral demons and whatnot. Kind of a downer that we got to backtrack. Don't love that. We're going to take our first debuff right here. Not on lookout. Your chance of getting ambushed while resting is doubled the next time that you camp. That's not terrible. Like, it's manageable. It's not the... Oh my god, we started out in base contact. Okay. I accept this. I'm going to kick you into that hole right there. Have fun being stunned. Alright, kitty cat's gonna come over here for the flanky wankies. Nice kill right there. We're gonna come down this way and we're gonna try and encircle this cat. 110 damage right there. Good stuff. Pull of the Void. I don't know what that does. I think he put a trap on the ground that I can't see, but I'm not positive. Big crit. Down goes the enemy. We're going to try and outrun this guy because he's slow and he's not a concern anyways. It looks like Pull of the Void disabled his movement, from what I can tell. Indeed it did. That's really unfortunate. Alright, well, just tank up, I guess. She has also been disabled. So she can't really do much for right now, so just go on defense. Being on defense in this game is the same as hunkering down. Oh, that's the wrong character. Being on defense in this game is the same thing as hunkering down in XCOM. It gives you like a flat dodge chance, basically, and some damage mitigation to kind of like make up for the fact that you can't move for a turn and didn't do anything with your action. Interesting choice, allowing himself to be encircled. Big crit right there. We probably want to avoid damaging this guy too much until... We probably... I mean, they don't have any debuffs on him right now, but they still appear to be stuck in place. I'm a little bit worried about damaging this guy. I don't want him to go into explodey mode. Like, I think we have the DPS to get him if he does go into explodey mode, but, like, I'm not sure. Yeah, just get out of the way of the explosion. It's fine. Do I have the range to heal? I can't. I wanted to, but I can't. Okay, it's fine. Just get outside the radius of the explosion and hang tight for a minute. You don't want their HP to get too low in between fights. Otherwise, they have a really high chance of getting injuries. And injuries are decidedly more difficult to get rid of than just normal wear and tear from combat. All right, a bunch more loot. Make a little bit more cash. I'm trying to avoid resting until this meter gets really, really high because one of the bonuses of resting is that it resets the time track. I will scout over there. There's a treasure. All right, let's get it. A lone satchel catches your eye. It's an antidote. Okay, for sure. A mysterious light flickers erratically up ahead, accompanied by the sound of unnatural humming that can only be described as evil in nature. You find the breach, a swirling vortex of dark energy, and peer into its center, wondering what lies on the other side and resisting the sudden urge to find out. Sigbert looks on with marvel. Have you ever seen such a thing? It's almost beautiful in a way. Terrifying, more like. Yurik sticks out his arm, preventing Sigbert from inching forward for a better look. Let's not forget our mission. Right. The breach seems to grow instantaneously. Unseen forces push you all back like wind from a hurricane. It surges on, and from the center of the swirling mass, shadowy figures take shape and pour outwards. Sigbert readies themselves and unsheaths their weapons, shouting without warning. Demons! We charge in here with our hearts full of zeal. For the Emperor, we banish thee. Fall back, knaves. We can just start right here. I feel like we've got a big enough gap that I'm not worried about what they're going to do. He is unfortunately isolated from us right now, though. Don't love that. Let's turtle up right here and just kind of see what they do. And then while we're in the neighborhood, we have lots and lots of consumables, so we might as well use them. Stay where you're at. That's fine. Actually, I probably should have had her use her shield to buff us up. That probably would have been the smarter move. She's got a shield ability that mitigates damage for a couple of turns. But I think we've still got another turn before they close the gap, unless this big Reaper guy does it. Let's go ahead and put a booby trap right there in case they try to come through this avenue. Ooh, he's big smart. He didn't step on our trap. Okay. Well, big smarts it is. I'm just going to kind of wait until I know what they're going to do. Paladin, you can move in. Join the fray. I'm so glad we bought that new sword. You guys won't know this, but her old sword did not hit very hard. Her new sword hits really hard. He's got mitigative damage right now because there's line of sight blocking him and his cast. So let's just go for a quick, with the dodge right there. Faster than the speed of light. Quicker than a bolt of light. Oh no, dude, we've been flonked. Okay. Disappointing, but I can alleviate this. Big hit right there. He's going to burn to death on his next turn. Ooh, okay. All right, we've been marked. Yeah, just go ahead and join the real combat down here. I think he's just going to hang back and be kind of annoying for the rest of the fight. It doesn't seem like he has any interest in closing with us. You go ahead and use your turn to heal yourself. You're doing your job right now. Your job is to tank, and your job is to soak damage, and you're doing a great job of it, so don't doubt yourself, my friend. Hold steady. Hold firm in the light. Feel its renewing embrace all about you. In punishment, there is absolution! All right, let's go ahead and get the flank right here. And this is the last fight, so we might as well go all in. I'm going to use as many abilities as I possibly can. Okay, I don't know what those do, but I've got a sneaking suspicion we don't want to be adjacent to them. I don't know if I can attack them. Let's go ahead and we're going to feint back and force him to come to us. There we go. We've got him. These blades are actually walls. You can't move through them, and they attack you if you try to go by them. So, it's a good thing that we noped out on that prospect. I'm going to have her come down here, although I'm not exactly sure what I'm going to do with her just yet. We'll put him over here, and we're going to channel a conduit right there for some big DPS, like some big daddy damage. And then I'm still waiting for these to despawn, but I don't know if they do. We'll damage our own guy if we do that, so maybe I'll just wait it out. Oh my. Pretty unfortunate. Apparently you can converge the blades. Let's go ahead and hit this guy with the big attack. There we go. Get him with that combo. Get him with that wombo combo right there. Unfortunately, because his health is so low, I think we're going to have to heal him just to make sure he doesn't get injured. Our morale is incredibly high right now, though. Big nuke just dropped off the wizard. You love to see it. Let's go ahead and finish him off with a final fire lance. Boom, baby. Love those animation effects. The developers have put just so much love and design into this game. So we've got a level up right here. Sigbert has leveled up. You get attribute points whenever you level up. The stats are pretty simple. It's just like health, defense, power, all that kind of stuff. I would probably just continue making him hit like a truck. On top of that, we can now unlock a new ability. He's got Healing Trance. I want Healing Trance. I'm going to take it. This basically allows him to channel for 5 turns, just like the lightning guy, except when his goes off, it heals him for a fat chunk of damage, and it heals everybody around him for half as much damage. So it's pretty good. On top of that, each ability in this game has a talent tree. Underneath it, you can develop your talents to go in different directions, basically, and have different levels of strength. So you can build attacks that hit weak, but can be used lots of times without resting. You can make it so it increases the mobility of the attacks. You can make it so attacks have cleaving and stuff like that. Lots of fun little options right here. I'm going to add an extra charge to his rush punch. He's confirmed. Wizard has an extra point right here. We'll go ahead and give him a little bit more insight so that he hits a little bit harder, I think. Yep, and it gives you a nice little preview on the stats here of what each point is going to do, which is very much appreciated. Wind Surge, target cell for ally, increase speed. Cyclone, move to the targeted cell. Everything along your path is moved around. Target a single cell and restore morale within the next turn, creates wet terrain. Probably go with Tempest, I guess. And then add 2 additional lightning strikes to it. I was going to say, that's nice. That's a good little AoE, and it gives him a little bit of versatility. And then with our Guardian, we can pick up damage and blind an adjacent enemy. We've got damage a single target with a range of 2. We've got Judgment, root an adjacent target for 1 round, then channel for 5 turns to deal massive damage against them. I like that. I like that a lot. I think that's probably what I'll go for. Continue increasing her defense, and then we'll take Judgment. And then we've got 1 more point. If the target is flanked, channel time is reduced. Target is immediately marked for 2 rounds. Let's do that, because that's going to increase damage a lot. So that basically makes her mark her own target, then hit it for like 300% damage. Like, that's the stuff right there. That's the jams. So we lost our antidote because we misplaced our provisions, but it doesn't matter because we're out of the dungeons now. With the last demon down, everyone quickly returns their attention back to the breach itself. Hurry now, we won't survive another attack. You throw the pouch into the void breach center and it disappears. Everyone takes a cautious step back as a blinding light emanates from within. You shield your eyes. After a sudden whoosh, you peer above your raised arm to see the breach destabilizing and blinking out of existence. I wasn't sure that would work. The circle's full of surprises, I guess. We can exit immediately, or you can stay in the dungeon longer if you want to. So we got some freebie loot right there. It gets converted back into money. It's not quite a 1-for-1 rate. I think it's 36 when you buy it, and so these get reduced down to like 30, but still I feel like you get a more generous stipend than you do in Darkest Dungeon, so that's fine. Let's go back and get our paycheck. We spent a lot of money on upgrades and stuff, and so like making a little bit more cash seems pretty awesome to me. Peering up into the darkened sky, you see a flock of birds flying with haste across your view, their black wings barely visible against the backdrop. Sigbert strolls up alongside you and matches your gaze. Hard to believe it's morning. It's morning, right? Can't tell of late with the sky being so damn dark. Then a thunderous boom draws your attention, bringing the caravan to a halt. You find the sound's direction, not sure what you're going to see, but stare nonetheless. The sky darkens black as night, and a few people begin fumbling around trying to locate and light torches. What in the... An otherworldly roar is heard in the distance, and a dragon of indescribable size rips through the sky and into view, dark energy scattering all around it, with wings flapping as it twists into the air. It descends towards the ground with alarming speed, skirting across the land in a direction opposite yours, much to your relief. We should go to Andalon and consider ourselves lucky that it chose not to attack this region. There's going to be more void spawn, though, in the Dragon's Wake, and the Vanguard may need more jobs. All right, well, that's a great spot to stop this episode. My name is Splattercat. This is the Iron Oath. We ran into some bugs in the demo, but I'm happy to report that those seem to have been fixed and taken care of now with the release version. I hope you guys will check it out. I think the game is fantastic if you're into this kind of sprawling fantasy epic. I'll see you later. Thank you for stopping on in. My name is Splattercat, and I sift through the pile to find what's worthwhile every single day in the world of indie gaming so that you don't have to. Today was the Iron Oath. Tomorrow, it will be something else. Goodbye, everybody, and we'll meet up again tomorrow for some more fun time content.